Ho 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 ho! Yes! It's almost that time of year where I get to get that tax refund and get me some stuff. It's like Christmas in the middle of summer. It's beautiful. I can practically already see what I'm going to be buying with my newfound money. Okay, that's not actually how it usually goes for most people, but it is a very popular misconception, or at least joke, around tax refund time. And since it is tax season, I figured it would be appropriate for me to take a moment and talk about tax refunds and explore why you may not actually want a very big one. Hey everyone, Daniel here, and welcome to Next Level Life, a channel where you can learn all about investing, debt, retirement, and many other financial topics besides, because let's face it, the schools aren't going to teach it for us. So if any of those topics sound interesting to you, or if you want to learn how to better handle your own money and have more financial freedom, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell next to my name to be notified every time I upload a new video. So we obviously don't have last year's data to use yet, but based off of an article in the Motley Fool, at the start of May of 2017, the IRS had processed nearly 129 million tax returns for 2016, and they had issued more than 97 million refunds out of those ones that they had already processed. This means that roughly 75% of taxpayers were getting a refund at the end of the year, and the average refund for taxpayers that did get one was $2,763, which was roughly 2% higher than it was for the same period in 2015. And according to a survey by Go Banking Rates, the majority of Americans, 79% of them to be exact, plan to either pay down their debt or save their tax refund in 2017. To break it down even further, 41% of them plan to put the money into savings, 38% of them plan to pay off debt, 11% of them plan to use their refund towards an upcoming vacation, and 5% each plan to use their refund to splurge on a random purchase or make a big purchase such as a car or a down payment on a home. And that's all fine and good, especially if they actually stuck to the plans. But that's not what I'm really interested in. I want to know, is a big tax refund, like that $2,700 refund, actually a good thing? That's what I set out to discover in today's video, and as you can no doubt already tell by the title, I'm not sure that it is. And today, I'm going to show you why I think that. Let's get started. So why aren't big tax refunds necessarily a good thing? I mean, after all, it's certainly better than owing the IRS a ton of money at tax time. But as it turns out, that's about its only benefit. Because unless your refund resulted from big tax credits, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit or the American Opportunities Tax Credit, the refund, in a nutshell, basically means that you're having too much money withheld from your regular paychecks throughout the year. And what it essentially means is that your refund represents the money that you've earned already and have lent to the IRS, interest-free, throughout the entire past year or maybe even a little more. And maybe it's just me, but instead of getting that $2,763 refund at the end of the year, I'd rather be earning an extra $230 a month that I could then use to either save for retirement or avoid debt or just for whatever purpose I decide to use the money for. So let's take a look at an example. Say that John was investing $100 a month into his 401k, and every single year when he got his tax refund, which for the sake of this example will be $2,760, similar to the average return from last year, what if he were to put all of that money into his 401k, on top of his usual $100 a month investment? Again, just for the sake of this example. If he did that for the 40-year stretch from March of 1978 to February of 2018, he would end up with a net worth of $1,116,216.45. He invested $158,400 in total over the course of 40 years and made $957,816.45 in interest. However, how much of a difference would it have made in his net worth if he had instead adjusted his withholdings right at the beginning of that 40-year period and invested that $2,760 refund that he got every single year equally over each of the 12 months? This means that he is investing about $330 a month every month for 40 years. That's his usual $100 a month investment plus the $230 a month from what he used to get for his tax refund, but instead this time it's being spread out over the 12 months. Using the same 40-year time period, we see that John ends up with a net worth of $1,155,114.83. That's an increase in his net worth of almost $39,000, so almost $1,000 a year. So is it an earth-shaking, world-shattering difference? No. Over the course of 40 years, it's not exactly life-changing on its own. But you do add about 3.5% to your net worth when using these numbers anyway, And it was all done with very little effort on John's part. All he had to do was adjust his withholdings. And to me, that's a pretty good return to effort ratio. So the bottom line is that if you get a big tax refund this year, certainly use it wisely. But you may want to consider adjusting your withholdings to a more appropriate level with your payroll department for next year, because the refund at the end of the year is nice, but what's nicer is having more breathing room every month throughout the year, at least in my opinion, especially when it's put to a good use and compounds upon itself. But that'll do it for me today. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell next to my name so that you'll be notified of all my future uploads. I generally upload every single Friday, and if you have a friend that would be interested in this kind of content, be sure to share it with them. Let's really get this information out there and start our own financial revolution.